Fuck you, man.
Well, that's a way to start.
David Hogg tweet.
Oh, good lord.
Oh wait, is that really how we started?
That is how we started.
Didn't give me a countdown or nothing, man. I was just sitting here waiting.
No, I was like, all right, I think we're good to go, and then I clicked on go, and then you're like, oh, fuck you.
David Hogg's got he put a tweet out a little bit ago. 17-year-old Trayvon Martin was shot on his way to get some Skittles. Yet there are thousands of white men able to march around openly carrying assault weapons on Capitol grounds. This is not about self-defense. It's about the enforcement of white supremacy.
Can someone virtue signal just a little bit harder?
Hey, Necrosol's in chat. He got to catch that opening.
Yeah.
What's up, Texican?
Necrosol.
See, the only thing that's keeping me from getting any guns is I'm broke.
I'm broke and I don't have a place to put them.
I mean, I've got pillows on my bed. Are you enjoying the first Why is the Bank Closed Day of the year, Necrosol? Because, I mean, unless you have kids, I guess, then you know why the bank is closed, but I'm unencumbered, so I wake up like, hey, why can't I go get money? Oh, that's right, that's the day. Okay, never mind. But yeah, I'm seeing, a few tweets here and there about the Virginia rally, and doesn't sound like all hell's broken loose yet, so... Oh, hey, what do you know? There are black dudes there with guns, too, so it's not all racist white guys. Who'd have thunk it?
Color me shocked. Yeah, he's... Yeah, it sounds like all in all it's been pretty peaceful, except for, like, counter-protesters trying to start shit. But pretty much everyone's, gotten it to where it's, they know better.
But yeah, I'm just scrolling through people responding to Boss Hog here, and are we still getting the scratching?
We are.
Oh.
At least I can hear it. I don't know about...
Well, Terry can hear it too. He's asking what the awful sound in the background is. I have no idea. I've adjusted my volume on my mic. I don't know what else I can do. Let me see. Pull up the settings again. Because there's really not a lot of options on my settings for like my microphone. And this is new, isn't it? This is not something that we've had issues with before.
We did.
On the Jackbox stream.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is just like something that's just started happening here in the past, week?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm shilling the getting it done. before I actually get conversating.
Yeah, next all it's plugged in good. It's no wiggle or anything in it. Only problem is if I unplug my mic and plug it back in, I'll have to reset my entire computer to get the microphone working again. And just leave Johnny sitting here hanging for 4 or 5 minutes while my computer reboots.
Let's see. I'm gonna try and share this. Let's put this on the other screen first.
But yeah, this is weird. I turned it down. I turned the volume down a little bit more. Pushed my mic away from.
Let's move that over there. Yeah. That's from Billy the Anti-Bully.
Oh yeah. You guys still getting scratching, or is it gone down a bit? Anybody?
I still hear it.
Ah.
It's not bad, but it's definitely there. At least in my end. I'll just say at least on my end.
What if I drop down the levels a little bit here? Now, the device is being used by another application. If you continue, the application may stop working. Do you want to continue? So it's going in and out. God damn it. Wouldn't it be nice just once have a stream where there was no technical issues?
That sounds like a pipe dream.
Well, I mean, we're in the right place to be talking about pipe dreams, ain't we?
That is very true. Setting the link out.
Yeah, if either one of you guys want to hop in here and tell me how to fix this fucking audio issue, I'm all ears.
Don't make me break my foot off in your ass!
Drop kick it out the window. How's it going, Terry?
Good. I'm not going to lie. I clicked the link mostly hoping that the scratching would be less awful if I was on the call than listening to the stream.
That bad, huh?
Oh, there were times that it wasn't too loud, but then there were other times that it just get really, really bad, and so I thought it might be at least more stable if I'm on the stream.
I think it's mostly when there's dead air is when you get the loudest scratch. Because when I'm talking, I notice that it's not as pronounced. But then as soon as I stop talking, it just picks up.
Well, it might just be that the sound of a voice is just distracting from the background noise.
Of course, his mic is really good, so it's picking up every possible sound it could. So it's probably searching for something to put through the ether.
This is why you get a shitty microphone that doesn't pick up anything.
Dude, I bought this thing for $30 on Amazon. How was I supposed to know?
Well, my friend got me this microphone, and she said it cost about $5. So, this is where you need to be at to avoid problems.
I got the snowball, and it has been good for me. So
$30 was at the high end of my price range. So yeah, maybe I should have gone with the 5. I don't know, dude. Just go with like a Logitech next time.
Is yeah, my friend wanted me to play games online with her, and it was like, well, my PC doesn't have a microphone, and this was after I left my job, but before I received my inheritance, and I was like, I'm not spending money on a microphone. I just don't have it. And she's like, well, I'll get you a microphone and send it to you. It's like, oh, okay, thanks. And yeah, I mean, it's only a $5 thing, but that's how I came to get it.
So what's that in real money?
Like 3.
Yeah, that is pretty cheap.
It's about 30% difference between US and Australian money. So whatever 70% of the $5 is.
So you guys are you guys have a wage gap because you still got the queen on your money, right? Is that it?
Yeah, it's the patriarchy. They saw the woman on our money and it's like, well, we're just going to take 30%. But the scratching seems better. I just realized I can't hear it.
So from Australian dollars to US dollars, it is if the mic was $4.99, which I'm guessing would be a thing.
Yeah.
In American dollars, it'd be $3.43.
There you go. She's Canadian, so it was $5 Canadian, but yeah. Canadian and Australian money is about the same. And
you can't hear the scratching because I keep muting myself when I'm done talking.
Oh, okay. I'm hoping that it was fixed, and no, it's just you're muting yourself.
$3.82.
Yeah, it's like $4. Then yeah, like nothing, dirt cheap. But it's I've had this microphone since I started streaming, and it's been fine. It's like don't waste money on fancy microphones. You can get the job done with a cheap piece of crap.
I just wanted something with a boom arm so that way if I started yelling, I could push it away without blowing people's eardrums out. Because I started with a gaming headset and there was no way that was going to happen.
No, it's I have thought about getting a new microphone, and then it was actually the Harry channel who inadvertently convinced me not to, because he said, "Oh, look, I'll send you a link to a microphone review site, review YouTube channel." And so I watched this guy's video and like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I'm clearly not ready for a microphone. I don't understand any of these buzzwords and lingos. Like, I'll just stick with what I've got, and it's easier.
Yeah, I went to the same thing, and they're like, you can get this one for it's about $79, and I'm like, well, check that one off the list.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and I was listening to Lords of the Night one night, and they were asking what everyone used, and Ranting Monkey was saying he had the Snowball, and I'm like, $45, good enough for me. Like, it's not too cheap, it's not too expensive. It's a first mic, so I'm like, okay, well, that'll work. And yeah, that's the one I've had since.
See, the other thing for me is just taking up room, like, because I live in a fairly small apartment. So if I get a microphone that takes up a lot of desk space, it's going to be crowding me. So yeah, I mean that's the other concern is just there's a finite amount of space on my desk.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard to actually type if I've got to sort of put my arms around the microphone to get to the keyboard.
Hey,
We're trying
Johnny,
to find-
can you check the green room? We might have another guest.
Oh. We don't.
Jack should be popping in here before too long.
Which Jack?
The one that I don't sound like.
Okay.
Hey,
Welcome.
Hey, we have a Gunsky.
did you just say how's it going, Ski?
No, I said, hey, we have a Gunsky.
Oh, okay. Hey, how's it going, Ski?
How are you, Jack?
Can I just say this is like the second time that I've actually been invited onto a stream within the past week, and that's only ever happened like one other time in my natural life. So I feel like I'm moving up in the world.
Oh,
Well, if you want, I can deflate that ego a bit.
Yeah, I know you probably invited like 8 other people aside from me.
well, besides that, the link is in the chat.
Well,
So
no.
anyone who's watching-
No, I could just be, be like, an asshole. Like, well, you were online on Discord, so yeah.
Hey, am I the only one getting a lot of static?
no, we all hear that. It's Camel's End.
Is Camel streaming from Alaska?
No, he's pretty much close to Arizona, so.
Oh, I see. So his microphone is melting. It's like the movie Fail Safe. When you hear the ee sound, that means that the telephone has melted.
I've never
I
seen
never
that.
did watch that movie. Even though for the movie stream, I couldn't find a version of it that I could watch for free. That
Oh yeah.
was not at a weird angle because there was one that was like super zoomed in and at a 45-degree angle, and then there was
Yeah.
one that was sort of shrunk to the point of unwatchability in the middle of a TV screen. It's like, no, I don't care enough about this movie to struggle through watching it that way.
Yeah. Honestly, though, if you could get decent audio of the thing would work pretty well as a audio drama, I'm sure. It's not what I would call an action-packed movie.
I did what I always do. I read the TV tropes page, and now I've practically seen the movie.
All right, how about
People-
now? How much time now?
Still there.
Better, but still lots of feedback or
We have
static
a
or
Gabbers in
whatever.
the chat.
Oh, we
Hi,
have a
Gabby. I have never spoken to Gabby before.
Yeah, she's good people. I like her.
Everyone likes Gabby.
I know a lot of very friendly Gabbies.
And yes, I find it amusing that she found out through Onision that the G Wiz part of her name is actually a sex position. It just makes me laugh.
Wait, gee whiz is a sex position?
Yeah.
Apparently so.
It's just everything these days. Everything is a sex position.
No, especially since it was Onision of all people that, like, Onision had a poll on his Twitter saying which sex position would you like to to be with him in, and one of them was Gee Whiz, and it was like, oh.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Is Onision just the biggest dirtbag on earth at this point?
Yes, pretty much.
I don't know of anyone whose name aspires such weirded outedness. Weird outedness or weirded outedness?
And we have P-Dog in chat. Just, hey P-Dog.
Hey, P-Dog, how's it going?
Hey, P-Dog.
And yeah, Onision is pretty shitty. I don't think any rational person likes the guy. So, we have a Jaeger Pony and we have Della Hayes. So hello to both of you.
Hey there, Jaeger Pony.
Looks like everyone's starting to trickle in.
Yeah. Hello to Jaeger and hello to Della.
And hello to Hate Camel, who has departed from the stream to attempt to fix his audio.
And he's got a bit of a General MacArthur thing going on there.
So yeah, the streams where I had my kids playing Injustice 2 got copyright claimed.
That doesn't surprise me.
And yeah, all the music for everything from beginning to end got claimed.
See, that's just stupid. Every game developer knows that you want people to be online playing your game because they know that the experience isn't unique to any one individual if the game is any good at all.
Well, I can back that up because remember there was a time when Nintendo, and they might still be, was incredibly harsh with claiming any game footage anyone put up.
Yeah.
People stopped streaming Nintendo stuff. I forgot Nintendo existed.
Yeah.
Like-
It's so true though, because
actually most of my Nintendo streams actually are still they're claim free.
Well, they might have eased up recently, but there was a time when they were viciously demonetized, like claiming everything.
Yeah.
Like you had a picture of Mario on your stream for 30 seconds, gone. The whole stream, whole video gone.
Yeah, I do believe that they took a different stance from what they used to do and started lightening up on gameplay footage.
Well, hopefully, because I forgot they existed to the point that when I watched a video about a Nintendo game, it's like, oh, right, I haven't thought about Nintendo in ages. And it's because no one was willing to stream their stuff, because why would you? You can't make money off it.
I mean, one of the biggest industries on YouTube today is Let's Plays. And there's a reason for that. People watch the Let's Play, and then they want to play the game themselves. And it creates like this self-perpetuating machine wherein people buy the game in order to do the Let's Plays. And it's this constant hype train. And if you're not part of the hype train, you lose a lot of potential advertising.
Well,
I mean, God's sakes, what would Minecraft be without Let's Plays? Minecraft would never have taken off like it did.
Well, yeah, the thing is, having people stream your game is free advertising. It's like that's it. The only exception would be if it's a game where the entire appeal is the story. Like the gameplay is garbage, but the story is the selling point.
Well, the thing about that, I would say that
Mr. Costin is evil.
If it's such the case that it's like a movie or music, I can at the very least appreciate that you cannot play that back to an audience at any capacity without basically giving the whole thing away. Your experience is going to be the same no matter who else is playing the movie for you.
Yeah.
But a game, if it's any good at all, it has replayability. It has different elements that are unique to whoever's playing it.
But I'm just saying, for games that the main appeal is the story, then I can understand why they wouldn't want that given away. Because there are some like walking simulators and visual novels and whatever.
Yeah, those things are, the vast majority of them are just shit, though.
But I'm not denying that. I'm just saying I can understand why those kinds of games, the developers don't want to just let people have it for free.
I was thinking about doing a stream of my first couple of playthroughs of Doki Doki Literature Club because I haven't played it yet.
I like that game.
I looked at it and I'm just like, maybe.
I couldn't play that game. It's I know that my personality is far too depressive in order to go through that sort of thing.
Yeah, I liked it. I would say make sure you play it more than once. Like,
well, yeah,
because I played it once and I thought it's okay, whatever. And then I played it a second time. I was like, okay, no, you do need to play it multiple times.
Yes. There are games that aren't depressive that I know that you can play multiple times, and it kind of does a similar thing. One game that comes to mind is One Shot. Undertale, obviously.
I couldn't get into Undertale. Like, I heard all these people singing its praises. It didn't click for me.
It's very much about getting you invested in characters. That I would say is its biggest draw. Also, the replayability. Like, did you watch any playthroughs of Undertale?
Only the boss fight against Sans, because everyone was talking about how impossible it was. So I wanted to see what it looked like, because there's no way I was ever going to get to it.
The thing is honestly, you may as well just watch gameplay footage of it, because it really exposes just how much thought was put into this particular game. There is a lot of stuff going on.
I watched the game theory thing about it, and that was good enough for me.
Yeah, fair enough. I did see enough. Like, I killed a boss, and I thought, then I found out, oh no, you can actually do a total pacifist run. So I restarted, and it did acknowledge that I had restarted my game to. It said something about ease my conscience, pretending I was guilty about killing. No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
And so I did notice little things like that. A lot of effort went into this game. But the bullet hell sections, I'm just terrible at. And it wasn't interesting enough for me to struggle through all those constant little bullet hell sections. It's like, no, I don't care enough about this.
That I do appreciate, because at a certain point, I think that when you're playing a game like that, it becomes less about the actual interaction, and it becomes more about muscle memory. And when you get past that muscle memory point, a game can lose a lot of its appeal, because all I'm doing is just doing the same exact thing over and over again. And that's when people tell me they really like old games, hard games, and I'm like, no, a lot of old games just relied on muscle memory, and they were shit for that. They didn't have the interactive element.
I fully agree. The games that were able to be made on the NES, they're not good games. They were good for the time, but they're very bad if you could judge them by any modern standard.
Yeah. But then you got like a bunch of fanboys running out. No, this is the best game ever. The original Dwarf Fortress. No, I've never actually played Dwarf Fortress, though I hear that's very, very complex. No, I'm thinking more like the original Mario. I mean,
Well,
come on.
I would say no. The original Mario was better than other games of its time.
Or to
But
bring up a previous conflict with Sonic.
But I was thinking something like the early Castlevania games would be very much like that, where it's just they're not good games.
Yeah.
I might be nostalgia blinded to Mario because I do kind of like even the early Mario games. But I think that's rose-colored glasses, to be honest.
See, the thing is that the original games that I started out with were nothing like those muscle memory games. The first game that I really got into when I was a kid was it was called Chips Challenge, and they actually have this game available on Steam today. You can get it with the original look and feel of the thing altogether. And
Is it
a lot
Eric
of
Estrada chips?
what?
Is it Eric Estrada chips?
No, it's computer chips.
Okay.
Or no, wait, the character is named Chip, and he is collecting computer chips. And there are like 150 levels of it, and all of it is, and the vast majority of it is strategy based. There is some like muscle memory stuff, but a lot of it is strategy based.
So is it like was that Meat Boy or whatever?
No. Meat Boy is sort of like side scrolling. This is top down. You walk up to go up a tile, then you walk down to go down a tile, and left and right and so on. And different tiles have different functions.
I'm looking at the Steam page now. I'll put a link in chat for anyone who wants to check it out.
Yeah. And I can go back today and play it, and it still has some really fascinating elements about it. Like you have to push blocks around, and it requires lateral thinking. And that was my first game, and I thought that was amazing. My second major game, I would say, was probably Roller Coaster Tycoon, and that's all strategy based, and it is very interactive. There is zero muscle memory associated with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't Roller Coaster Tycoon just killing customers?
Yeah.
If you're not trying to win, yes.
Now that's
I thought about getting it just to do that, because I hear that it's quite a fun thing to do.
It is very fun to do. The most fun thing to do is you hire entertainers, and you can hire like 100 of them if you wanted to, and you can just drop them in the water, and you could see a little guy in a costume flailing his arms, and then he drowns.
Nice.
It's horrible, but it's funny. Seeing a guy in a little elephant costume waving his arms, and then drowns, and then you have a message across the board: Entertainer 261 has drowned.
And hey Pat, he's in chat.
Yeah.
Oh, hey Pat.
Here's Pat.
And I can't hear any horrible sound from Camel, so I think he's fixed whatever problem he had with his mic.
One game that... Oh, sorry.
And Costin's here too. Let's not ignore him.
Hi there. I haven't been saying much.
Hey.
Hi, Costin.
Yeah. I like the carnival game. Sounds fun.
Yeah, that game is also available through Steam. However, if you should buy the base game, I would recommend going for Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 first, and then and one of the first of all, it's a better game than Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 because it has more variety of items. But number 2, if you go online, you can research this download called OpenRCT2, and that basically fully updates the user interface so that you can play it much more easily on a modern computer, because the original game was built for like Windows 95.
Yeah.
Want to know something funny? I own Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. I didn't think I did. It's not a game I have any interest in actually playing, but I own it.
Dude, you should give it a try. It's really a lot of fun if you haven't played it before.
I haven't played it before. And it's even marked as ignored on Steam. Like, I said to Steam, look, I don't care about this game, don't... And at some point, some bundle must have included it.
No, but it is a really fun game. And if you get it, again, if you play it, OpenRCT2, it's a total must-have.
Cool. I just think it's funny that I own so many games that, even games I'm sure I would never own, I apparently still do.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you do nothing but even just kill customers, it's a good way to just creatively do it.
Yeah. I would say that it still holds up. It's even better than most modern tycoon style games.
Yeah, well, I mean, the main thing is, it's that sort of game isn't something that I particularly like.
Yeah.
There was a game called Theme Park, and it was fun to see the different rides, but actually playing it as a game just never did anything for me.
That's the thing, is that it is much better than other tycoon games. It's head and shoulders above the rest of the crowd, to the point that I've played other tycoon style games and a lot of them are shit. A lot of them are total shit. They are unplayable. But this game is so user friendly and has such a good eye for detail that it really makes it much more playable by comparison. And one of the other things about this game is that it has details that you would never suspect that this game has. For example, there are rides that can derail if you go over them at too high a speed, like what they call a bobsled coaster. If you go over a hill at too high a speed, it flies off the tracks. And because of that, each individual guest has a different weight. So you can have a thousand. Oh, sorry.
I actually heard about that on some YouTube video, which was going into sort of features in games you might not know about. And once you mentioned that, it's like, oh yeah, no, I did hear about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so what can happen is you can have a bobsled coaster works perfectly fine for years, and then just suddenly one day it derails and you have no idea why, and that's because the statistical phenomenon where the sum weight of all the guests made it go too fast over a hill and it derails.
Can you have a no fatties rule for your
That would be an interesting theme park. Although I wonder what the advertising campaign would look like.
Just have a picture of Tess Holiday in a red circle with a line through it.
You know, now that I think about it, I think that modern roller coasters kind of have a mechanically enforced no fatties rule, because they have those seats at the front. If you can't fit in the seat, you can't ride the coaster, and if you're too fat, you can't fit in the seat.
Very true.
You must be this thin to ride.
Yes. Instead of the height chart, they've just got a set of scales.
No, what they have is
your shadow.
Have you ever seen those the pain chart that shows like a 1 is a happy face and a 10 is a frowny face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like that, except like you have like a very skinny man, and that's a happy face, and at the end you have just like a circle of a man, and that's a frowny face.
Hey, Pat, how's it going?
What's up, y'all?
Hey, Pat.
Hey, Pat.
I think for special effect, they should draw the frowny face on the circle of a man, like on his belly.
Don't feel too bad for him. All you have to do is tickle him, and he goes woohoo.
It's just the tickle contest. You just have a guy walk up to you and poke you in the belly. If you jiggle, you can't go on.
There you go.
Yeah.
If Camel is talking, no, I can't. I can't hear you.
Is what doing what?
Oh, Camel said, can you guys hear me? And no, I can't. So he got rid of the scratching sound, but he also got rid of his own voice. So not the ideal solution.
Or the ideal solution, depending on how much you like Camel.
True.
Oh, I know that feeling. When I was doing my test screen, it's like I was getting everything.
Yeah, my microphone's been kind of wonky these days.
Right now, it's like I'm using like earbuds with a microphone. So when I was doing like my little thing, I had to like fix my levels, which thanks to One Ton Hammer for helping me out on that right there. So I hope that I got them all right. So the next time I do my next test stream and shit, hopefully everything will be good until I get my Yeti microphone, and then I can start going live.
Hey, Food.
Oh,
how's it going?
boy.
And thanks to Jaeger Pony for a follow. Subscribe.
Oh man.
So,
Have y'all been on Twitter lately?
Too
oh
much.
no! Please tell me this isn't about Virginia.
Oh my God, man! Between Virginia and California, man, it's like
What's up?
Between
I
Virginia,
was gonna
California,
say-
and David Hogg.
oh,
I was gonna say what's
no.
wrong with
Fuck.
California,
Oh.
but then I realized the list would be too long.
David Hogg looks like an active shooter in the making. Shit.
Yeah, it's very Taxi Driver. He's like the Jared Leto of taxi drivers.
That's what it is. He's trying to hold on to relevancy for as long as he goddamn can. So and fella realized that he's just basically going insane by the fucking day. No, but it's like, yeah, besides the Virginia gun rally thing and everybody screeching about that, but yet, hell, what, like this weekend they had like the women's march, but all of a sudden that was all, yeah, and all that right there, and they were doing 10 times more. Yeah.
Well, from what I
Between
heard,
that, like, I don't know what the hell Caitlin Bennett has done lately, but it's like she has got so many goddamn threats on Twitter right now of people talking about, I'll pay this and that amount much to either beat up, rape, or kill, and I'm like, really? And Twitter's allowing this shit.
Well, she's the wrong kind of thinker. She doesn't deserve protection.
That's what I trip off of. They always talking about, oh, we have a zero tolerance against, threats of violence and things like that. Yeah, unless you're somebody they consider alt-right and things like that, then it's okay. Like these people can sit up here, oh, I'll pay somebody $100 to kill Caitlin Bennett. I'll pay somebody this and that to fight her. The next time I see her, I'm a punch in her face and things like that. Like I'm like, all this right here, loudly and proudly, and they're still on.
Yeah.
Yet I get timed out for calling the Mona feminist bitch a cunt.
Yeah, I got a 24-hour for or a 12-hour for calling someone a retard.
But these people can sit up here and say, I'll pay somebody to kill this girl, and not shit happen.
But remember, Twitter is not biased. They made that very clear.
honestly, at this point, I would say that if you get disappointed, that's on you. And
Yeah.
what I mean is that the risks going into Twitter. You know that they're going to be very one-sided. You know that they're gonna strike you down for being rational in the face of irrationality. You know the risks. That's all I can say at this point. If you
Yeah, I
don't
would
like
agree.
it, you should
That's what I say. At
go.
this point, I just
There
look
are
at stuff
better
like, why am I
places.
But yeah,
There-
you do understand that being called a retard is much worse than having somebody threatening to kill you. You know.
Well,
That's
yes,
true.
words, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will destroy your life.
Yeah.
And the sad part is these are the tolerant motherfuckers. These are the people who are always, advocating for diversity and inclusive, and all that good jazz right there. But the minute you don't agree with them, the minute I'm saying, you don't agree with their politics, whatever they're saying and things like that. I hope somebody kills you. I hope somebody rapes you. I hope something horrible happens to you and things like
Well,
that.
what they'll say is tolerance doesn't require that you tolerate other people being intolerant. So they'll say you're being intolerant, so we don't have to tolerate you. That is their defense.
That sounds like what's his face with the hat and the moist lips.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Hi.
the shit.
There we
My
go.
only rule is this: like, we can sit up here, we can talk, and we can disagree all we want, things like that. But the minute you put your hands on me, I'm cracking your skull.
Yeah.
That's always
But-
been my rule. That's why they don't fuck with me.
I'm curious though. Has anybody heard of anything at all going wrong with the rally in Virginia today?
Nope.
I have not
Not
heard
one.
anything.
Mm.
Oh, but
And
it's going to be white supremacists are going to attend.
the thing is that here's what I think is going to happen. Nobody's going to riot, but there are going to be false flags. I think that the governor is too eager to make this look like a disturbance, and so he's going to send somebody out. But I think that if there's a very good chance that won't happen because everybody is armed, and you'd have to be crazy to try and start something in the middle of a bunch of armed people.
And of course, mainstream media is gonna, they already been trying to spin this into a whole bad thing. Like, it was this one of these dumbasses talking about, oh, they're chanting, we were not complying, things like that, and it was the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm like, really? That's our mainstream media for you?
I think the only thing I've seen as far as conflict goes is like counter protesters trying to start shit. But they're like, even the marchers are like, nope, not dealing with it. Like, you do you, I'm out of here.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to start shit, but they're doing it from very afar because the people they're trying to start shit with got guns.
Yeah. Like, the best I can do in that kind of march is taking my airsoft gun, because I don't actually. I have a gun, but it's like way a couple hours drive from here.
What's it doing all that far away?
It's a 30-30, so you really can't do anything with it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I don't have a gun. Most of my protection is. Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
the only gun I've ever owned was the Zapper for the NES. I don't have that anymore though.
Yeah, it's like most of my protection is non-lethal, but it's like, hell, shit. I'm all pro, pro Second Amendment. So
I have the varmint rifle from Fallout New Vegas, but unfortunately that's electronic, so I can't really use it.
No, I think the NES Zapper, you pull it on a burglar and say, look, you do anything, a dog is going to laugh at you. And they won't want that. They'll just go, shit, and just leave.
Dogs.
that's,
Because
Well, I do have two guns, but they're kind of sort of attached to me.
and he is selling tickets to that gun show. So you know.
Everybody's seen it. There's a lot of girls on Twitter who really love him.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of guys too.
I like how your post, your most popular post is still gaining likes and retweets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean the one where you're talking about how you took the opportunities presented to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I've actually lost some. I've lost some likes. I don't know how the hell that happens, but it's like last time I checked, it was at like 35,000, but it was like a month ago, it was at 36.5. So it's like, so they've been taking likes away from me.
I've experienced a similar phenomenon. I think that what happens is sometimes people delete their accounts, or occasionally people will clear out parts of their account using like services, so they like automatically unlike a lot of stuff.
Yeah, or Twitter just purges inactive accounts or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I think it was. It was like a Twitter purge. So.
And so I can't hear static from Camel. Can I hear Camel from Camel?
Fuck, fuckity, fuck.
Fuckity, fuck, fuckity, fuck.
I've only had to do this like 3 times.
This stream is brought to you by the
hear
word
anything.
Yeah, this stream brought to you by the letter F.
No, at least we can hear you now.
F stands for fuck.
It's a very diverse word.
It is.
So
Yeah,
how's everyone doing so far?
Well, I'm still a little pissed at my computer. If I had the money to go get a new one right now, I would Sinatra this thing.
Sinatra.
And apparently Fig didn't hear that, Camel, so you might need to say it louder.
Say it loud.
I'm trying not to scare the dogs too much.
The media is gonna have serious blue balls tomorrow about this whole Virginia thing.
Oh, they're gonna
they're gonna say a whole bunch of white supremacists showed up, and that's it. They're not gonna have anything to cling on to.
So they're gonna pull a Tariq Nasheed, all those black dudes with guns, like, oh yeah, suspected white supremacists.
No, they're not even going to mention the black people. They're just saying, it was all white people. Nobody else was there. No other race or.
There were no black people. There were no roof Koreans. There was nothing except whitey.
It was just all white. It was just all white men.
I wonder if Colin Moore is there.
Probably, maybe. I mean,
their enemy is the man outside the tribe. If that person is black, white, or whatever race or creed, that's their enemy.
I don't know, man. Coleon, he might not be at that thing. He might be like, you know what? I'm gonna keep my ass in Texas, and I wouldn't blame him for that. Hey, Pat, did you see that map of the United States? Like all the states the other states hate.
Yeah, I saw that.
See.
Yeah, California should really take the hint.
Nobody can stand California, man. Because you think of everything fucked up is happening in California. Like name something fucked up.
Giving someone AIDS.
That's in California.
No, but the map, it was just hilarious how no state for 1,000 miles hated anybody more than Australia. Not Australia. California.
Gee, there's a Freudian slip for you.
Well, every state in the world hates Australia.
Like, what's the land down on to do? It's already bad enough they on fire.
Yeah.
You know, I would trade California for Australia.
Man.
Just,
Yeah.
push California out in the Pacific. Tow Australia in closer.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
would be across the Bering and Sugar Tip.
Give California the old Guam technique.
I
Cut
actually
it
saw
off
a
and so
funny
it tips
fight.
over.
I saw a funny fight on Twitter where Peach Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
She was saying, I don't know why Americans keep calling them brush fires. They're bush fires, and like she's going into like, no, this is actually important because brush fire is underplaying the severity. It makes it sound like it's not as big a problem as it is. And then someone said, well, actually, there is a thing called brush fire, and picks a fight with Peach over the whole thing. It's like, and then Peach is like, yeah, brush fires exist, but that's not what we have. We have bush fires, and that's why I'm trying to. I bet you can't name a single forest that's on fire.
Yeah, but we've heard Far call like 27 different things chips. So forgive us if we don't take you guys at your word when you say bush fire.
Is a bushfire just a fire during a feminist rally?
I think you could just call Australia's fire just Australia fire.
Yeah,
They call it climate change.
Because I mean, you can say it's a bushfire, you can say it's a brush fire, but it's just a fire now. Like,
I call it arson.
Yeah, just a moment ago on Twitter, Peach Bailey was talking to another person, and I want to get this person's. I'm gonna quote here if you don't mind, because this reply is friggin' ridiculous. How about you get off your damn high horse and grab some buckets of water to help out the, quote, bush fires that you're so concerned about instead of sitting on Twitter, instead of trying to change your story about what you're really concerned about. So obviously, this girl thinks that you can just put out the fire by grabbing buckets of water.
Well, I mean, if it's a small enough fire, you could, but that's not.
Where's this girl from?
Her name is Miss Liberty. I don't know where she's from. Hold on, let's see.
It's gonna take some research, isn't it?
She has YouTube channels.
YouTube channels? Oh my god, she must be famous.
Yeah, I know.
Almost as famous as me.
But geez, how stupid can you eat? How stupid can you be? Oh, massive fires the size of West Virginia. Oh, just grab buckets of water. That'll take care of it.
She's from the United States. I just looked that up.
Oh, that
Holy
makes me
shit, Pat,
sad
you got
for
a
my
clone.
country.
Pat, we didn't realize you were streaming to us live from Virginia. What's it like on the ground out there, man?
What?
Oh, I was scrolling through Twitter, and there's a dude who looks
Kind of.
suspiciously like you.
Oh, you saw that guy too? I saw that guy. I was like, he looks exactly like Pat.
You found my doppelganger.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't say that to anyone though, because they'll be like, oh, what? So you think they all look alike, or some shit like that?
Well, that was not what I was going to say. He's like, oh, they all look alike to you, don't they?
But no, you're I saw that exact video. Yep, that's the one. And I said, that guy looks just like Pat. Doesn't really sound like Pat, but he looks just like him.
See, I didn't play the audio to listen to it, but I was like, God damn, that looks kind of like Pat.
Well, I got Sora with the whole all black people look the same because she said that Squeedus looked like Satsu. It's like, oh, so they all look the same to you.
I would hope Squeedus looks like Sets.
Oh man.
No,
Well,
it's so
I
funny
always
because,
found-
my girlfriend said the same thing, and I just go, oh, yeah, I see how it is.
I always found that argument to be really stupid back when people were, because people don't really say it as much these days, but back when people were saying it, I was like, that's a faulty argument. I'm saying that a specific person looks like another specific person. If I thought all black people looked alike, why wouldn't I just say, you look like all black people? Or better yet, you look like a black person, which would technically be accurate, because if the person's black, that they look like a black person.
I'm just trying to picture this where you walk up to someone and just be like, huh, you look black.
My favorite thing is like when I meet someone or I see someone out in public, I don't compare them to like, oh, well, this looks like a. You know, I always add like a little bit at the end, like, oh, this dude, he kind of looks like Michael B. Jordan. If you left Michael B. Jordan in the microwave too long, I saw a dude like that the other day. Except it was like Chris Ray-Gun. It's like, somebody put him on. Like the frozen food de-thaw instead of like popcorn setting, because he was in there a little too long.
All right, guys, I gotta head out, eh?
All
right.
See you later, Cost.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining.
The similar argument that always annoyed me was like when people say different types of Asian all look the same. It's like, yeah, they do. Just like, sure, I can't tell a Korean from a Chinese person. Can you tell a Swedish person from a Norwegian person at a glance? It's like, it's an idiotic thing. It's like, yeah, people from similar parts of the world tend to share physical features. It's like not racist to notice that.
Yeah. I don't know. Some people.
This chick, I swear to God.
Who do you got?
My medical student. She's posting about her dating life again, or lack thereof.
Someone threw a bucket of water on her forest fire.
Oh, apparently she's single and she's getting shit from her mom about it, which I find hilarious. Because apparently her mom follows the same logic as like Monkey and them with the gumball machine.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is. I mean, he exaggerates, but there is a sense of truth to it.
Well, the best part is, you know, she's a med student. Her mom's a doctor too. So,
it's the later you have kids, especially as a woman, the higher the risk of abnormalities and.
Well, they've also come out and started saying that about men as well. Like, you know, if once you get past like the age of 40, the risk of you having a kid with autism or some other developmental disorder is going to rise as a man.
Well, there you go. That's my perfect excuse. I never need to have kids. I'm just too close to 40. Sorry, I can't risk it.
Well, I already got 3 in there. I'm saying, 1 adult and 2 teenagers, so that's good enough for me.
Yeah, you got 2 to replace the population and 1 for spare parts, man. You did it right.
Like, I am done. Everybody sit up here like, hell shit. Pat, don't you wish you had? Nope.
But yeah, this
don't even finish that sentence.
I love this tweet she put out because she had one earlier. I guess a specific guy on some dating app was like, instead of saying I won't date you because of your ideology, maybe you should like focus on positive characteristics and personality traits. Her response is, "Men, you are not entitled to an explanation of why I don't want to date you. I don't need to explain myself. Respect women when they say they aren't interested and go about your business."
So she has just reduced herself that only a cook will date her ass.
Well, she's a lefty in Seattle, so I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people that would be willing to put up with her bullshit, but there aren't enough people that are high status enough that she'd be willing to put up with theirs.
But they won't be men. That's just.
No, that's it exactly.
Well, they'd be biologically male.
Yeah, but they won't be men.
She's not looking for a man, Pat. Have you not caught on to this yet?
I see it.
But when women say they can't find
a little bitch,
what they mean is they can't find a man that meets their ludicrously high standards. It's like,
And she
Yeah,
sounds
I can't find a man that does everything I say.
She wants a pussy with a penis. That's what she wants.
Yeah.
basically. Oh, there are a lot of them. There are a lot of them dumbasses up there in Seattle. Yeah,
But no,
bring that
not
all
just
back to Portland.
it's not just be a pushover that will be easily dominated. They also have to have money. They also have to have the job. They also like
Oh yeah, because she's in med school. She is drowning in fucking student loans.
But they also have to have a strong personality.
You're not gonna
Mhm.
find that when what she's fucking looking for.
I want them to do everything I say, but I want them not to be a pussy about it.
I want
So in
them
other
And
to
words,
I also want them to be very, very attractive.
so she wants two men. She wants. I'm saying she wants that cuck and she wants that alpha when she, That's what that sounds like. That sounds like one of those women that will have that cuck ass person in assless chaps with a ball gag in his mouth, handcuffed on his damn knees while this alpha motherfucker is dicking her down. That she sounds like that type.
She wants an impossible person. Like they have the impossible burger. She wants an impossible human being.
That ain't
And
that is
impossible. That
literally
that
true.
that burger is crappy.
well, yes, I know that's the point, is that you can't even fabricate a person like that. Just like
No,
you can't fabricate meat from non-meat.
that is literally true in that there is no human in existence that could ever meet the standards that she wants. Like,
Yeah.
it is literally impossible because she has conflicting desires. Well, I'm assuming and generalizing, but the problem usually is that they have conflicting desires. Like, I want him to support me, but I also want him to pursue his own goals and prioritizing. Look, you can't get an ambitious go-getter that's going to be subservient to you. That doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah, and honestly, I think that maybe this is just all a part of like Darwinian sort of logic, wherein the people who want impossible partners, people who don't exist, die alone, and that leaves the people who are willing to accept that human beings are flawed in some ways, or at the very least fit a basic definition of reality. They're the ones that reproduce.
Problem is, it's too easy for artificial insemination and things like that. So if you get the crazy feminist with the impossible standards, she can just go to a sperm bank and still get knocked up with someone's sperm. Um, I think that's sort of impeding the natural weeding out of the unfit to survive, so to speak.
Yeah, science is kind of a double-edged sword. It's taking away our ability to weed out the horrific human beings.
Well, if you think about it, every feminist needs a man to breed.
Yes, no, that's true.
No, a woman can have a penis, Johnny.
Oh, good
You
point.
bigot.
Catch. Very good catch.
I stand by my statement.
But yeah, it's gotten to the point where you might as well just say, "Yeah, I'm a bigot." What of it? Because
Well, yeah.
the threshold to being a bigot is so low these days.
Well, that was one of the first conversations that I had with a med student was about transphobia. And what was it about? Not wanting to date a trans person. It's like, well, what if, just hear me out here. What if you want to start a family? Just throwing that out there. Me, personally, no interest at all. I don't want kids, never have. I hated children when I was a child. So, there's no risk of me looking for a wife that can bear children or anything like that. But if you were so inclined, what then? She sent me an article. She sent me an article of artificial wombs. A trans person can have an artificial womb, and the child can be, gestate in there and give birth via C-section.
I think you're missing the obvious. You just be with a trans man who was born a woman.
But what if you're not gay, Terry? What if you don't want to be with a man?
You learn to be gay because that is the woke thing to do.
But yeah, I was like, okay, so can this artificial womb produce eggs that I can fertilize, or oh no, you'd have to get an egg donor and you have to fertilize the eggs and then implant them. It's like, you see how this works, right? You're adding way too many steps to this recipe.
It's like when there an article not too long ago, it was a trans man gave birth to a baby and was inseminated by a trans woman, and I was just
and
they had the non-binary partner. It's like, okay, that's a like that's a
normal
woman
birth with extra steps.
That's a woman with a beard who's in a relationship with another woman who's just ugly, who had a dude jizz in a cup so she could get pregnant. Let's
essentially straight couple has kid. That's the news article.
They're in their own little world. So the shit people do to try to be special, that's what gets on my nerves. Like,
I don't have a problem with trans people.
No,
real trans people who have some sort of emotional instability over physical attributes of their body. I think that's terrible, and I wish them all the best, and I hope that they find whatever solution best works for them to get by in life. But these people can't all be real trans people. This is like it's essentially becoming like the gluten intolerance of mental problems. These people are not all trans people. Some of them are just normal people who want to look fashionable. And I know that this is kind of old ground we're treading on here, but it can't be said enough that these people are full of shit.
Yeah, these are the trenders. These are the, look at me, I'm so special and things like that.
Like, I almost want to put Riley Dennis and Jessica Yaniv in the same group, but I don't. Because I don't see, Riley may be many things, but I don't see him, here, wax my balls or you're a bigot.
No, Riley is the one that tries, lesbians, if a lesbian won't sleep with him, then, she's a bigot.
Yeah.
I would say that Riley is deluded, but Yaniv is predatory and malicious.
Yeah.
Riley is predatory and malicious too. Not necessarily at the same capacity as Yaniv, but
it's just a difference in age ranges, really.
Yeah, Riley's a transvestite with a lesbian fetish, and Yaniv is just a predator person who's just using the trans to try to bully people into, to touching them.
Well, all of this kind of hinges upon whether or not we really believe that Riley is trans. And I don't think that that's necessarily the case. I think that Riley is trans, but I also think that Riley is malicious in the way that she acts about it.
Riley is the trans version of the guy who wanted to get that toothbrush for a penny.
Yeah.
Riley is a transvestite that's trying to be special. That's what he is.
There you go. Now it works.
He can't call himself a transvestite because that's already out there. So that doesn't make him special because there are tons of transvestites out there, loud and proud, and he wants to be, special. My own little thing.
Fund me to buy that guy a toothbrush. He needs it. And he only has to raise a penny.
The thing is, I didn't used to think that Riley was trans, and then it was revealed that he was doing some of the associated surgeries, and and stuff like that. And I think to myself, even if you're not trans, if you are deluded enough to have surgery and alter your body's chemistry, then there is at the very least something seriously wrong with you enough that I can at least acknowledge that you might have this particular problem.
I really wish I had the time to, time and money to want to waste. So I could have GoFundMe going for that guy with the toothbrush.
But at the time that I found out Riley actually had the feminization surgery on his face, like, okay, well, there's more to it than he's being given credit for. There is at least a problem that needs fixing.
Yeah. And also, the one thing I won't pass on, I mean, if someone says they're trans, and I know them and I care about them a great deal, I'll use their preferred pronouns. But one thing I will not cave on is it is a problem. It is a literal problem with your person if you have this. And people trying to pretend that it's not a problem are contributing to the problem, because denying a problem does not make it go away. It can only exacerbate it.
Chaos Eve brought up something. All these people fighting to get gender dysphoria removed as a mental condition. That means that insurance companies don't have to cover it because it's now elective. So they're actually hurting the trans people that they're supposedly fighting for by forcing them to pay for their own surgeries when at the moment insurance is forced to cover it.
Well, that's leftist thinking in a nutshell. It doesn't matter what happens in actuality. What matters is how you appear when you're doing it. Do I appear that I'm doing the right thing, or am I actually doing the right thing? And a leftist can't distinguish between the two. They think that if you it doesn't matter if insurance companies won't cover it, so long as they are fighting to make sure that this doesn't look like a mental illness. It doesn't matter. They just want to appear like they're doing the right thing, and any consequences that stem from there are just they aren't really a problem. It's why we never talk about black on black crime. We never talk about it because or the left doesn't talk about it because it doesn't matter if these black people are being killed. What matters is that they look good when discussing crime. Make sure that you take down the evil white man in the process. I thought you were concerned about people getting killed. No, you're just concerned about these people who got killed.
No, they want the problem to continue and things like that, because if there's no problem, then how can they advocate? How can they grandstand and shit like that? You know?
Yeah.
They don't try to fix the problem because the problem is making them money.
Would you guys like a palate cleanser here? I got a actually kind of cool story that I'd like to share.
What do you got?
Sure.
This one actually, I was scrolling through Twitter, and this is from CNN. An ex-Navy SEAL and Harvard doc is now the first Korean American headed to space.
Good for him.
Nice.
Graduating from Harvard Medical School and being part of the Navy SEALs must not have been enough accomplishments for Johnny Kim. The 35-year-old is now the first Korean American to become a NASA astronaut.
Oh, good on him.
What bothers me the most about this, though, is that they focus on the fact that he's the first Korean American to go to space. It's like, dude, this dude's a Navy SEAL. He graduated from Harvard fucking medical school.
And all you're fixated on is the fact that he's Korean American.
Yeah, I mean, that dude did over 100 combat missions.
Yeah.
In 2 deployments with the SEALs. He was a medic, a sniper, and a navigator.
And they're going to reduce him down to his race.
Yeah, this dude... okay.
He is the Jason Statham of space.
I mean, let's see. First of all, Navy SEAL. Anybody, regardless of race, background, or anything, that's a huge accomplishment in my book, anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd make it through the first hour of Navy SEAL training.
Oh man, I've seen SEAL training like on the documentaries and shit like that.
Oh
And it's
yeah,
like,
yeah. It's like if I could make it through 1 hour, the first hour of them doing their PT for the SEALs or Green Berets or anything like that, I would walk around like I was 10 foot tall and bulletproof.
The training, you've got to eat raw fish, clap your hands, balance a ball on your nose, that sort of thing.
But okay, yeah, sure. But but no, yeah, 100 combat missions and 2 deployments. The dude graduated with a math degree from where was it? Which I mean, that's kind of perpetuating the stereotype a little bit, don't you think?
Just a bit.
Mathematics degree from the University of San Diego. I'm assuming this was probably while he was in the SEALs. He was probably working towards that degree while he was stationed in San Diego. So imagine that. Not only are you training for counter sniper missions or IEDs, but you're also doing like calculus at the same time. And then he went on to get his medical degree and become a fucking pilot, and then go onto the NASA program.
And if the stereotype is true, if he ever got a B, he would be interned by his mother.
Well, he probably walked into like the seer training like, my mom's Korean. You guys ain't got shit on this. I'll never break. But
he went to
SEAL
training to get away from his mom.
Very possible. But I mean, that's just a cool story all around, and they're focused on the fact that he's the child of immigrant parents. Have we not in this country had enough immigrants do enough shit that we can get past? Oh well, his parents were immigrants.
Because CNN are idiots.
And
like, I didn't even see the part about him being an immigrant at first, because the way that the thumbnail comes up on Twitter, I saw an ex-Navy SEAL in Harvard Doc is now the first. Oh well, yeah. I saw ex-Navy SEAL in Harvard Doc is now the first, and then I just clicked on it.
Well, it kind of feeds back into what I was saying earlier. His actions don't matter to these people. His actions as a patriot are totally invisible. What matters is how they appear when they're talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you were in the military, did you ever think about going further in was it Army?
What, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pat. I think you're the only veteran on the stream right now. So,
me, it's like when I went in, like I said, I joined the military basically being kind of gun ho, like I'm saying, like something to do and things like this, something to pay for college. But it's like the more I got into it, it's like, at first I was thinking about, like, what do I want to do? Do I want to actually make a career out of this, or do I actually want to, like, like do this right there? But then, like, I think like halfway through it, that's when I'm like, yeah, 8 years is enough. I just do my little time right here and just call it quits and see what I can do out here mostly.
see, they were trying to recruit me when I was 17, going into 18.
As soon as I hit a senior, man, I had all of them coming for me. I mean, Army, Navy, man.
Well, see, I made the mistake of trying to take the ASVAB just because I want to see. I was big on taking all the different tests, AP tests, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll take the ASVAB too. Give an idea of what I'm good at. So looking for careers going into college or whatever. And the day that I took it, I woke up late for school. And so I managed to get to school into the room they were giving the ASVAB out like right before it started. And I had to piss like a motherfucker. And so I'm just sitting there just, answering every question. Is like first thought. Yeah, that looks right. That looks right. No, that looks right. I took the test in like 15 minutes. And I still managed to get like an 82, which I think that's pretty decent. I think the highest you can get was 99.
You just went through there just guessing.
Yeah, well, no, I went through their, just first instinct. That looks right because I had to go so bad. I was like, I do not want to piss myself. In school, let alone doing anything else. So like I put the pencil down, handed them the paper, and I just ran to the bathroom. And we get the scores back, and there was one guy, he got a 99. So like they were coming at him hard too. But everyone's like, "Well, how did you get your score? You weren't even in there. Like you're the last guy in, first guy out." I was like, "I had to go to the bathroom." How'd you get that 99, dude? He's like, "I guessed." He didn't even bother lying about it. He's like, "I just guessed." I was like, "Dude, they're gonna try and get you in like officer corps or something like that. They're gonna try and get you leading people." And he's like, "Yeah, oh shit." But like everyone started calling me at that point, Army, Navy, and like my grandfather, he served in Korea in the Navy, and I was like, well, I'll think about it, And this was what 2006, so like the surge was still going on, and everything like that. I was like, I don't know if I really don't think I want to join the Army, I really don't think I want to do that. And then the Navy, they gave me like the two things that they were really thinking like, oh well, this would be really good for you with these scores, Their first one was, you ever thought about working on a nuclear submarine? I was like, no, fuck that. They're like, I mean, you have some really good job prospects when you get out, I was like, I'm 6'2", and you want to put me in a tin can underwater with a nuclear reactor? No. I was like, I remember feeling the dents in my grandfather's shins from the knee knockers on his cruiser. Like, there's no way in hell you're putting me in one of those things. What else you got? Like, well, we have EOD. We could really use some smart guys working in that. I was like, well, what is that? It's explosive ordnance disposal. I was like, okay, what is that?
I'm confusing.
Yeah. I was like, have you seen the news? I was like, you think I want to do that? Which, I find out, years later, it's like, oh, those guys get paid. The only people that get paid better as an enlisted man than EOD in the Navy is the SEALs. Like the recruiter, he did not do a good job at all selling EOD. He could have been like, "Hey, man, you can deploy with Navy SEALs. You'll be, parachute qualified, dive qualified. You'll, be one of the best paid enlisted guys, in the whole fucking Navy." Didn't do any of that. He's just like, "Oh, it's bomb disposal." Fuck you, man.
It reminds me of a math teacher of mine once talking about once he got his math degree, a whole bunch of government agencies approached him to work basically on developing missiles. And I thought that was really, I mean, it makes perfect sense, but God, it's kind of scary if I went into a slightly different field. Then, they'd be like, hey, you want to work on developing more efficient murder weapons?
Sure.
But yeah, like then the Air Force, they came calling. It's like, hey, would you be interested in joining the Air Force? I was like, I would be interested in piloting one of those drones. That sounds like fun. They're like, oh well, see, you'd have to have a bachelor's degree for that. It's pretty much, it's the same setup like flying an airplane. You'd have to be a pilot. I was like, oh.
I asked him straight up, I'm afraid of heights.
Yeah, I was like, aren't you guys just sitting like in a trailer in Nevada blowing shit up? Why can't it's a PlayStation controller, man? I've been training for this my whole life. Like, come on, I don't need to be a pilot for that. I've got Ace Combat, whatever, on the PS2. Like, I'm ready right now.
I played Star Fox as a kid. I've got this.
Yeah. The recruiter, he was not amused by that, Pat. I was like, hey man, this is what you get for posting up right next to a GameStop. Come on. But the Marine recruiter, he's the one. He got the most respect out of me, out of all of them, because Like he came up last,
Mm.
and he actually tracked me down. Like this man must have been a PI before he enlisted or something. Because like he didn't just call my phone, he didn't show up at my house. He found me at like the local bowling alley in the arcade. And like I'm sitting there playing. It was a Target Terror. You guys, I don't know if you guys ever played that. It's a shooter arcade game where you're going through and you're clearing terrorists out of an airport. Actually, it's a perfect setup for this guy walking up behind me.
It's called what now?
Target Terror. I wouldn't waste too much quarters on it though, because like the very last section is rigged. It's got like you're on the airplane. You got the last terrorist holding a hostage with like the 5%, human shield shot, and it doesn't matter where you shoot this guy. It's going to say either you missed and he killed the hostage, or you shot the hostage. I can't tell you how many times I shot that dude right between the eyes, and they said I killed the hostage. So yeah, I finally gave up. I had the high scores for everything on that game too. But I finally go to put the controller down. I turn around and there he is, standing there in his uniform. Are you, so and so Camel? Yeah. It's like, oh, I understand. You took the ASVAB. Yeah. You ever given any thought to joining the Marine Corps? It's like, well, what are you offering, man? The Army and the Navy, even the Air Force. I've already talked to them. He's like, I'm not offering you shit. I was like, excuse me? He's like, look, if you join the Marines, you get what you earn. Like, I there's not gonna be anything in your contract that says, oh, if you do X, you get Y. It's like either you sign on the dotted line or you don't. I was like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and pass, but I appreciate your honesty. Thank you. Well, you didn't just try and blow a whole lot of smoke in my ass. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, my fear was because my dad tried to get me to enlist, and I didn't have good grades or anything, and I didn't have really any interests but I figured it'd be like that Simpsons episode where as soon as they enlist, they're automatically assigned to frontline infantry. And
Wait, was that The Simpsons or was that Futurama?
That was Simpsons.
I must have missed. I don't recall that one. I recall the Futurama.
It was one with what the hell's his name? From Phone Booth.
Kiefer Sutherland, or
yeah. Kiefer Sutherland played a
like a drill sergeant.
Yeah. And he's just like, all right, what's your name? And it's like Homer Simpson. And he goes, what are you doing? He was like, replied, it's been a while since I saw it. And he goes, all right, frontline infantry. It's like, holy shit. Like, I don't think that's how it works, but I'm sure there's some kernel of truth to it.
Yeah, like, I mean, for me, like I said, the surge was going on. Shit was blowing up every day on the news. And I like smoking weed, and I didn't want to do push-ups, so I passed.
Yeah, my thing was like when I joined, it's like Desert Storm was going on and shit like that. I joined in like the late 90s. Like as soon as I graduated.
But that Simpsons episode, I remember the guy was saying, all right, you don't like me and I don't like you. And Homer's like, you don't like me? I like you.
I think of what's that? The Jimmy Stewart Christmas movie.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life, when they have the scene with Potter basically assigning everybody to frontline infantry, going through all the documents, basically signing a whole bunch of men up to die, and he doesn't think twice about it. That's what I think about.
I've never actually seen that movie.
It's pretty good. It's a solid Christmas movie.
It's super long.
It is very long.
The one thing I always think about is you ever see that movie Across the Universe where they did like the Beatles musical?
I've heard of it, never seen it.
They got this one scene where this character, he gets gets his draft notice for Vietnam, and he's thinking of all the ways that he can get out of it, aside from just straight up going to Canada. So he like swallows like a cotton ball, so like it looks like there's a spot on his lung. He goes in the recruiting office and he tells them he's a cross-dressing homosexual who uses heroin and everything else. And the recruiter just looks at him like, well, as long as you don't have flat feet, stamps the paper and sends him on his way.
Oh man, like I said, well, it could have been like how Red Fox did. Hell, shit, he ate soap before the physical to mimic a heart attack.
Ooh,
Hey.
that's commitment.
Uh
Yeah, I just figured when that was the one time in my teen years where I had some self-awareness. I was like, if I sign this contract, I become government property, and very good chance I'm going to end up in a military prison. No.
I don't know. Me, like I said, hell, I call my 8 years a whole bunch of luck, man, because some of the shit I went through, I'm like, how the fuck did I get through this?
Now, see, if I had my mindset like I do now, and I could go back, then yeah, I probably would have enlisted, But it's just like you're a dumb kid, and you make dumb kid decisions, which for me that was not joining.
Yeah, me, like I said, even if I went back, they have to give me something else besides like infantry and things like that. Because my left knee, I sat and banged it up pretty much up in my days and things like that. So it's like I can only put so much pressure on it right now before that sucker starts.
I forgot about the Army. The Army, the one thing that this recruiter kept trying to push me towards was civil affairs. At the time, it was something like, I guess, for reservists, but they were going to be bringing it into the active duty Army.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, he's trying to push the civil affairs stuff on me. And what he didn't realize is I had a cousin who did a tour as a recruiter for the Army. And so I called up my cousin. I was like, hey, man, this guy's talking to me about civil affairs. I was like, can you shed a little light on this? Because he seems a little squirrely to me. And he even knew, like, the recruiter, too. He's like, that guy, he's only interested in the money. He's like, so he's going to sit there and tell you, try and get dollar signs in your eyes. Civil affairs is pretty much an insurance adjuster with an M16. I was like, excuse me? He's like, yeah. What you're going to do is, infantry, either Army or Marines, they're going to roll into some village. They're going to blow the shit out of it. And they're going to leave. And then you're going to come in with your clipboard and your rifle. And you're going to try and make nice with the locals. And you're going to try and negotiate with American contractors to rebuild the shit that the infantry has blown up.
So you're a negotiator?
I was like, he's an insurance claims adjuster, pretty much. Yeah. And it's like, like a progressive with a camouflage uniform.
Yeah.
And I was like, so wait. You're telling me that, you're going to have Army or Marines or, Special Forces or whoever else go in and piss these people off royally, and then I get to deal with them? He's like, yep, that's pretty much it. I was like, well, fuck this guy. He didn't mention any of that. So that's why I didn't join the Army. But no, speaking of the military, did you guys know that there's no exemption for like military personnel with the 21 rule of tobacco use now?
That's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
From what I've read, like that when they raised the tobacco age to 21 from 18 last month, there's no exemption for military personnel.
Oh, fuck them.
Because, at least the paperwork that I've seen at the convenience stores in my area, because they posted those notices.
I can't stand this bullshit with tiered adulthood. I can't stand it. There should be one age once you pass this age, you can do all the stuff a legal adult can do.
Yeah, exactly.
And
especially if you're in the military. Like, shit.
Because I've had, I live in Oklahoma. We've got a lot of people who are either, in the military, retired military, or have, family loved ones in the military. There's a lot of people in this area that have a connection to it. Hell, I mean, here in my region, in the Choctaw Nation, we have a military base. We have an Army ammunition plant. We build the biggest non-nuclear bombs in the world, on my tribal lands. So, like when Trump dropped that Moab, that was built in Choctaw country. But
did it have I break for camel on the side?
Yeah.
Do
you know what?
do
I know some of the guys that work at that plant. Maybe I could get them to paint that on one of them, like Camel says hello.
do
And
they
goodbye.
can I just say, on this Indian reservation, do they make the Tomahawk missiles?
That one I don't know. Because I know they have the ammunition plant in McAllister, Oklahoma. They have one in Ravenna, Ohio. I'm not entirely sure where they have the other ammunition plants at, but I know they build the Moabs here in Oklahoma. They may build the Tomahawk somewhere else. But yeah, so a lot of military personnel, a lot of civilian workers, and a lot of people who just either retired from the military or related to military members. They come into my store and we sell cigarettes and cigars, and so we've got it posted. Hey, you gotta be 21 to buy this shit now. And every single one of them, with like one or two exceptions, they've all been like, well, if you can join the military at 18. I was like, yeah. Tell your congressman that.
Yeah.
Write him a letter. Because I'm willing to bet you he probably voted for this shit. And all of them are surprised, like, well, how did this even pass? I didn't hear about a vote. I was like, it's because it was in a defense spending bill, and it's an amendment to a law that was probably passed in the 70s or the 80s, whatever. I was like, so yeah, you're not going to hear about it until it happens. But they've all been like, well, if you can join the military at 18, it's like, well, how about you look at it from a different angle instead of if you can join the military. The angle I like to look at it is, if you're 20 years old and you kill somebody, are they going to send you to the penitentiary or are they going to send you to detention? Because you're either an adult or you're not at 18. No half measures. No, okay, you can do this, but you can't do that. It's one standard. Let's make it real clear.
It's really insulting, that concept, because it seems so infantilizing to have someone who is half of an adult.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I've even had customers of mine be like, hey, did you hear they're trying to get the drinking age to 25? I was like, huh. No, I hadn't heard that yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually trying to do it. But yeah, I mean, like I've had it's been one of three different responses. The majority of which has been the one I told you about. Oh, well, if you can join the military. The second one was, well, I'm too old. It doesn't affect me. I don't care. It's like, yeah, just wait until it does.
That's my zone.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Just wait until it does, because they're gonna find something that it's gonna affect you, and you ain't gonna be happy about it. Because I got a girl that works with me. She's 20, been smoking for 2 years, and now she's got to try and find some way to get her smokes.
Oh, trust me, there are always loopholes.
Oh yeah, well no, she's got a couple of places where she goes to where they think she's already 21, so she's got it covered. But her mom was one of those people who's like, oh well, it doesn't affect me. I was like, yeah, wait until you don't want to get out and go get a pack of smokes and you try and send your daughter. Oh wait, yeah.
Oh, right there when you try to.
But the last one that I thought was just like, oh well, I think it's great. I think they should have done that a long time ago. And I just looked at him and was like, hey, guess what? I started smoking at 15. The law being 18 didn't stop me. The law being 21 wouldn't stop me either. It's like all I needed at 15 to get my hands on cigarettes was to know somebody who smoked. And guess what? They didn't even have to give it to me willingly. I could have just taken it. It's like, so...
The age of majority should always be 1 year behind my current age. I think that's the best way to do it.
It's really annoying when people think it doesn't affect me as an excuse as to why they shouldn't care about a law. Whatever happened to caring about all citizens of the United States? Whatever happened to caring about
the United States? So I really don't get affected.
Well, yeah, that's fine. Whatever happened to caring about all citizens of your country? What affects some people has the potential to affect all people, and that's just all there is to it. If I was in their position, how would I feel about this law? And that's how you should approach it.
Whoa. That sounds like
how it is with a lot of people.
We can't be having any of that empathy stuff. The left will not approve of it.
Well, like, because I had a discussion. It was hilarious. It was a couple of black ladies came in the store and they started talking about that, and we ended up getting onto politics later on. But at first, I was like, well, let me put it to you this way, because they were kind of in favor of it. They were. One lady, she was middle aged. I guess it was her mother was with her. So she was more on the elderly side. And they were in favor of, go ahead, raise the age. We don't need kids smoking. I was like, yeah, but the tobacco use has been going down. It's been going down for years. The amount of teenagers and young people that have taken up smoking or tobacco use in general has been going down my entire lifetime, pretty much. It's like, so this seems kind of ridiculous to we don't want them smoking, and yeah, exactly, Foogie. I'm tired of people trying. That's why I smoke menthols. Nobody wants to bum a menthol off of me.
Well, how about marijuana? Marijuana is so high in use. It's been illegal for a long time. Being illegal hasn't stopped marijuana from coming up.
Menthols. I love menthols.
Indeed.
Meanwhile, they're taking steps to make something more, to limit the use of something, and every time the government tries to limit the use of something, it causes a spike in popularity of that very thing. That's all it does. That's literally all it actually does in reality. All that's going to happen if you raise the voting, even if you think it's a good idea, all that's going to happen if you raise that age is that more people are going to want to use it in defiance. That's all that's going to happen.
The black market always provides.
And what you should do is raise the legal age for things that you actually want people to do. So donating to charity, no, you got to be 30 to do that.
That's what it sounded like.
But look, so I asked this elderly lady. I was like, well, let me ask you this. I pointed out the smoking, the tobacco use among young people has been going down for years. I said, well, let me ask you this. If it weren't for, just the smoking, what else do you think we should raise the age on? Should we raise the drinking age? Well, how far? What else should we say, oh, you're not adult enough yet to do this? And how far should we go? Should we raise it to 25? I mean, that's when your car insurance starts going down if you're a dude, because they feel you're less of a risk. You can actually start renting vehicles then too. The Affordable Care Act, they said you could stay in your parents' insurance till you're 26. So should we say that you're no longer an adult until you get to 27? How about we make it a nice round 30? I mean, you can run for Congress at 25, be a senator at 35, or was the Senate 30? I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, you can run for Congress at 25. So I mean, that should be the age when everyone should be able to do everything, right?
President is 35.
President's 35. Well, isn't there an age on Senate? Oh God, am I confusing that with president now?
You can die for your country when you're 18.
But yeah, I pointed that out. I was like, can you imagine being a 19-year-old kid, who's joined the military, got shipped off to Afghanistan. You were able to smoke before you left, and you find yourself, sitting on some mountain somewhere, getting your ass shot off by a bunch of goat herders, and in the middle of a firefight, all you want to do is just have a smoke to take the edge off. But no, can't have that, can you? And by the end of it, this little old lady's like, you spend way too much time thinking about this. I was like, yeah, well,
And she
I'm
spent
stuck
way too
here.
much time not thinking.
Well, we ended up getting on because, after we had that discussion, they went to go about doing their shopping, and it was a pretty slow night. So I'm sitting there stocking shelves and trying to keep the place looking clean and orderly. And I walk up to them while they're finishing up before they head to the register. I was like, let me ask you one question real fast. Since we had this discussion about the whole smoking age, what do y'all think about the president? And it's these two black ladies. Like, oh, he's immoral. He's this, that. And I was like, oh, whoa, okay, stop, hold on. Where do you get your news? Guess where this elderly lady gets her news from?
CNN.
Wrong.
NBC.
MSNBC. It's even worse than that.
Ooh.
I was like, oh my.
Yeah, you can get a gun and go out into the middle of the desert where a bunch of Packies are going to be firing at you, but stay away from those cigarettes because those will kill you.
You're allowed to die fast. You're not allowed to die slow.
Foogie smokes Newports in California. My God, man, you must be paying an arm and a leg. Because, they're $8 a pack here. I can't imagine what they'd be in California.
The thing is, with MSNBC and things like that, hell shit, they're not even news. They're just basically telling you what they want you to do and how they want you to think.
But no, she was going on and on about the president. I was like, all right, I'm gonna give you my opinion now. Because, she's like, oh, he's immoral. He didn't even want to be president. He didn't, I was like, I'm going to give you my opinion about him now. I think he's a jackass. All right? I didn't vote for him. I'm not a fan of him. But, and here's the big part, the way that everyone has been reacting to him actually does kind of make me like him. Because they've gone batshit insane.
Mm-hmm.
The way they're talking about him. They're trying to impeach him. And she's like, oh, yeah, he needs to be impeached. I was like, well, wow. Hey, Addie is in the chat. I think Johnny stepped away for a second. He'll be right back, dude. I was like, the way that they're going about this, it's just showing that they don't deserve to be there either. Because in my lifetime, this is the second president in my lifetime that has been impeached, and nothing happened either time. They're not gonna vote to get this guy out, just like they didn't vote to get Clinton out.
Mm-hmm.
And Clinton, you could actually point to a crime he committed, perjury. Whether or not you agree with, should the question have been asked? Probably not. But guess what? He could have said, hey, that's a bullshit question. Yeah, it's true. I let her suck my dick in the Oval Office, but you shouldn't have asked that to begin with.
But I think people like the underdog. And as crazy as it is to think of the president as the underdog, the way he's been relentlessly attacked does paint him in that light.
Well, yeah, I pointed that out to her, too. I was like, the guy has been attacked nonstop since before he even became president. I was like, if you look at the way the media has been talking about him, it's like 96% of all of the coverage of him is negative.
We only have one person to blame for him running for president.
That's Obama.
And that's John
Oliver.
That's who?
John Oliver.
No. You have Obama. Go back and look at that correspondence dinner where Obama was just roasting him. He said, I am one thing that you will never be, president. And that right there, a man with that sized ego, that he puts his name on every fucking building he owns, you know that started the countdown.
If we're being serious, then yes, I think that is when Trump decided to run. But I just love the fact that John Oliver did the whole do it. I will make a donation. I'll write a check to your campaign right now if you run, because no one wants you to win, but we all want you to run. And I love that he did that. Even
no one wants you to run, but we all want you to run.
Well, yeah. I actually saw a very interesting video, and you may have seen this floating around your recommended, how memes won Donald Trump the election. And I thought it the way that they phrased it, it proposed a very interesting theory that he's actually kind of been running for president for the last couple decades, because it seems as though every time a new president is in office, he changes parties to the opposite side, because he's working on the fact that statistically, the president following the prior president is going to be on the opposite party. So if a Democrat's in office, then a Republican's probably going to win the next election, and his party status would change dependent on those factors. And he also talks about the possibility of running for president for years and years prior. Like you see in an interview, like I think he was on Oprah or something like that, where he discusses the possibility, hey, maybe I would run for president someday. And so it seems as though this has actually been in the works for a considerable amount of time, and it only just built up enough steam to actually take off for the prior election.
No, I think that's true. I mean, obviously, there's evidence of him talking about running for president all the way back then. But I do think Obama saying specifically, you will never be president, yeah. I think that kind of lit a fire under his butt and made him think, oh, yeah, I'll fucking show you.
And honestly, I couldn't blame him at all, because who else wouldn't want to make Obama look like a jackass?
Yeah,
because the man is so entitled, the man is so elitist. I would relish the opportunity to make him look like a complete ass in front of everyone, and he did, and it was wonderful.
Oh, great!
Still making him look like an ass, because, like I said, all the things that Obama wouldn't do and things like that, Trump has actually been doing. You know,
that does sound like an interesting thesis, Jack. If you got a link to that video, man, throw it in DMs for me. I'll check it out.
Just throw it in chat.
Like I said,
yeah,
I take no shit, and I back.
Pat, you're cutting out a little bit for me, man. Is anybody else getting that, or just me?
Yeah, I thought it was.
No,
I thought it was just me.
I glitched a little.
Okay. Foogie
It'll
says
take me a minute to find it.
Foogie says, I actually bought into the Trump negativity for a while. Then shit didn't add up, and I looked into it. Well, that's a good way to go about things, man. If something doesn't add up, definitely look into it.
Well, but that was actually me and feminism, where because everyone I knew at the time was all pro-feminist, I just kind of went along with it, and then stuff stopped making sense. Like the more I thought about it, the more it didn't make sense. So I can relate to Fugi's situation.
I kind of I understood that too. I think that I kind of had an understanding that a lot of this stuff was bullshit for a long time, because I can remember as a kid hearing, "Oh, there's a black entertainment network," and I thought, "Well, why couldn't there be a white entertainment network?" And people
white supremacist dirtbag.
And the only response people could ever give to a question like that is, "You just don't get it." An argument which I quickly learned to mean that they just don't get it. If your response to an argument is "you just don't get it," that means that you're the one who doesn't get it.
Well, I was the same with because we had a campaign saying to violence against women. Australia says no. I was like, well, what about violence against men? I was a little kid, and I was just like, well, what about violence against men? And the answer was always, it's not the same. Like, why? Why is it okay to be violent towards men but not women?
Because someone's got to fight off the emus, Terry.
Hey, military
They can
technology has
never
come a long way since the 30s. I want to do over. I reckon we can win.
They can never answer that question, so they're just screeching like, "Oh, you just saying that because you want to be violent towards women." Like, no, I'm just saying, like I'm saying, how come one is acceptable but not the other?
Yeah.
I just want to know that if a woman has slapped me and I just happen to swing and knock her the fuck out, I don't want to have, a women's march in my name.
And I remember thinking too, why is it that feminist has femme in the title? Why, if it was really about equality, why does it have one gender in the title? Why not something that applies across the board? And nobody can answer that. Nobody has an answer to that.
I have an answer, Jack. It's because women could solve all the problems if those dirty penis havers would just get out of the way and let them work.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Some women have penises. You can't be denigrating all penis havers.
Yeah, I believe someone brought that argument up a little earlier today.
I think that should be
now, Johnny. You shouldn't be using the past to contradict the present.
That should be the name of the stream. Women can have penises too.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Have you seen some of them traps? They're quite convincing.
Well, in anime, yes.
whole nother level these days, man. They're bringing their A game.
Oh.
You got to be careful when you're on the Crystal Science Monitor these days, man. I'm just saying.
Can I just say, I'm totally fine with traps. I don't care. I don't even care if it's gay. I still like them.
I mean, I'll be honest. The first time I ever watched a Blair White video is because I thought she looked cute in the thumbnail, and then it wasn't until I actually watched the video. It's like, oh, okay, that's a dude.
We can't all pull the Crocodile Dundee and just reach and grab like, oh, hey.
I know that I'm gonna get a lot of pushback on this, but I think Blair White looks kind of skanky.
A little bit, yeah.
Just the way she presents herself. Oh, sorry.
No, I stopped liking her a while ago. She's too much of a drama whore.
Yeah, absolutely. She's too invested in the drama bit. I don't think that she's really a principled actor at all. And I also think that the way she portrays herself is a bit skanky, and I find that to be very unappealing.
I follow, but from a distance.
What, Blair?
Yeah, Blair. I just don't like her.
Yeah, fair enough.
She's fine, I guess. I don't know. I don't really follow her that close.
I liked when I first started seeing her around. It's like I like the message that she has. Like, look, trans people are people too. It's not, it's not a lifestyle that you just choose. It's something that has to be actually a part of you that makes you take this going on.
Yeah,
like, you don't just wake up one day and say, hey, I want to be a girl. It's something more deeply rooted than that.
The thing is, oh, sorry, you first.
You have to be transitioning to something. Trans itself isn't the end state. Like, it's in the name. It's a transition. And people today no, I don't even want to change genders. I just want to be trans. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and the thing is that there's still a lot of. I still actually watch a good portion of her content. I even watched her video the other day, which I thought had a good message, where she's basically saying that if you're a transgender and you're trying to date someone you have to tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
You have to tell them.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a great message because no matter what you want reality to be, ultimately reality is a certain way. And if you don't conform to that, you're risking getting injured or possibly killed.
I've always found that argument like you don't have to tell them. It's like, what if it was anything else? What if you were a violent felon? What if you were deeply in debt? What if you had some terminal or communicable disease?
Are you
You
saying
started
that
a relationship
trans
with the
people have a disease, Camel?
No, I'm saying that when you go into a relationship, whether it's just starting out or starting to get serious, if you've got something about yourself that is, different or what have you than the norm, which yes, there is a norm.
Yeah, he was.
It's best to disclose that so that way everyone knows where everyone's coming from.
See, I just want to say,
and they can provide full formed consent.
See, accepted the disease because giving people AIDS is just fine. Like that's totally cool. California told me so. So.
Oh, we all have AIDS. Your mother, your sister, your dog named Blue. Haven't you seen the musical?
I am going to call it at 7 minutes now.
Okay.
Okay.
I have to get ready for work. So.
Oh yeah.
We'll call it that everyone has AIDS. Oh. But by the way, before I forget, Pat, I'm gonna DM you in regards to my stream on Tuesday.
I know for a fact that if I started playing that song, it would immediately be taken down.
Oh yeah.
All right, so as soon as I get off of work, I'm gonna have to take a nap so I can make sure I can stay up that night.
Okay.
Because if I don't,
actually,
my ass gets tired.
Yeah.
And if Pat can't make it, I actually can show up this week because I'm working the day shift tomorrow and I'm off Wednesday, so I could actually stay up a little bit late.
Awesome.
Like I said, being to work at 4
let's see.
a.m.
I've already asked Pat, and other than that, my roster may be full for this week, unfortunately. But
hey, that's fine, man. I could be a sub. I could be a substitute if someone doesn't make it.
Okay, that'd be great because I know that Pat's unfortunately because his work schedule is so variable. I know there's been instances where he unfortunately couldn't make it, so I'll definitely keep you in mind, Camel.
Yeah. Well, I know, like you've asked a couple times, like, nah, man, sorry, I'm working. No, I gotta be up early the next day. So I figured.
Now I'll be hating it too because I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
No. I don't want it to make it seem as though you like Welch on it or anything. I know you're a busy, responsible guy, and I don't want you to think that I resent you for that or anything.
How dare you put real life ahead of Jackbox games?
Exactly.
I'm not hating on you, but God damn it. I had something and I completely lost it.
That happens.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Pat, we'll talk after closing. All right. Actually, you know what? We'll just talk about it now. The stream that I was hoping to invite you to is our stand-up criticism stream. And we found one that we think would be good for you.
Oh God!
If you are so inclined to join us,
we've actually got a couple. We got a few in the can that we need to get going on, but yeah.
And it is random, but it's chosen, and we won't tell you what it is until we're about to start the stream.
I reckon you should add
until we start the viewing. Yeah.
Well, yeah, start the viewing. But...
I think the Fringe Wives Club. See if they've done anything else, because I'd like to see them make a reappearance.
But yeah, well, how many we got that we need to be getting going on, John? Are we up to 3 or 4?
We're at 6 now.
Oh God.
Yeah, we're way behind.
Yeah, we've been slacking with the work schedules and everything. So,
Pretty
but yeah,
real life
plenty of cringe coming down the pike.
Oh yeah. and believe me when I say the one that we have chosen for you is very much cringeworthy.
What was the name of the last one? The Jewish girl?
Oh shit! I don't forgot her name. Wasn't it Amy something? No, not Amy. Shit.
I'm gonna actually have to look this up.
Yeah.
I've pushed it out of my brain, so I don't.
I think it was Jenny something, wasn't it?
Jenny
Yeah,
Slate.
Jenny Slate. That's right.
Jenny Slate. Right.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She's been on TV.
She used to be on Saturday Night Live until she dropped the F-bomb.
She was also on the John Cheadle show, House of Lies.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she's horrible.
She was in Venom.
Terrible.
She was in Venom as the lady who said symbiote.
And I repeat, she was horrible. It was one part open mic stand up and one part like cringy home video documentary.
Yep.
And yeah, just don't watch that. Don't put yourself through it. But yeah, I finally got all my streaming stuff set up on my computer. Well, not streaming like this kind of streaming, but like Netflix and Amazon and all that stuff set up on my computer, so I can start watching these. Here in my little workstation, and I can start taking notes and stuff better. So hopefully, I'll be a little bit more professional on the ball when we get back at it.
But yeah, I want to plan something where we actually have time to actually get stuff in, because you got to do the viewing, which is about an hour, and then the stream, which will be about another hour. So knowing that you have time for it would be a plus.
Yeah, we really need to start getting a hold of guests. All right, when would you be available? 2-3 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
When would be a good time for you? And then we'll try and get our schedules around it, so that way we all can sit down and watch.
Well, my schedule is pretty open, as I'm sure you can imagine.
Yeah, but I don't think the audience is going to enjoy just us torturing you repeatedly. I mean,
as fun as it is to torture Terry,
redheaded.
I imagine the charm would get lost after a while. So we gotta keep bringing you in.
Screw the audience! I just want to watch the comedy specials.
And then I think we'll do palate cleansers on D-Live if we ever get a chance to do that.
To be honest, we should probably just do those streams over on D-Live and kind of do like EFAP and just play it and pause with our comments after we do the original viewing. Do the viewing first, so that way we all know how horrible it is, and then just replay it and pause every so often so we can make comments about it.
Well, you'd still get because they have, as long as it's behind a paywall, they won't allow it. So it would have to be something that's on YouTube, essentially.
All right.
So first of all, upload it to YouTube, then what Camel said.
If it can make it past the copyright strike, then I would say go for it.
How many sock accounts are we going to need for this, Terry?
As many as it takes.
30 sock accounts.
So like, all right, jump to number 2.
If you have one sock account, do you need another sock account to complete the pair?
Yes.
Do they have to match?
Also, yes.
It typically helps.
If you put
but
them both in the dryer, is it inevitable that one of them gets lost?
No, I've never actually lost a sock to a washer or a dryer.
I have almost always lost a sock.
Well, I wear
do not
all
know
of the
myself.
exact same socks, so I wouldn't know.
See, I have the cunning advantage of being colorblind, so all my socks match, regardless of what color they actually are.
Terry wears
Now, when you say
inclusive
you're
socks.
when you say you're colorblind, Terry, does that mean like you literally are colorblind, or does that mean like I don't distinguish between black people and white people?
Red and green. I can't see red and green very well.
Have you ever looked into those glasses that help you distinguish between colors? Because those do exist.
I know they exist. I don't really see the point. There's not any situation in my life where seeing the difference between red and green is all that important.
I knew as soon as the words were coming out of my mouth, I already knew that was going to be your response.
It just doesn't seem worth it. I mean, what do I need to see? Because if it's a bright red and a bright green, I can tell them apart. It's more the subdued colors that I have trouble with. And
It's almost as distinguished as the Terry penis is the Terry go with it kind of response. Like, it doesn't make any big difference to me whether or not I'm on fire or not. Why would I need to put myself out? It's no big deal.
I've got a shower. I can just wash it off. All the ash that I get covered in from being on fire, that washes off.
Oh boy.
All right.
Well, Johnny, we're about 5 minutes past your deadline, so you want to go ahead and
call
call it?
I am going to. I'm going to try and get it taken down. So I'm going to close. I'm going to close with a song.
Oh God.
Oh dear.
So yeah, thanks everyone for showing up. Yeah. You guys got stuff to show?
Jackbox
my
streams on
Psycho-
Tuesdays.
Yeah, my Psycho Rick channel, which I just dropped down a video today about Rocky Johnson. He passed away like last week.
Yeah.
I will be on Jack's stream on Tuesday. Well, Wednesday for me.
Are you gonna do Minions anytime soon?
If I get invited, because usually they hit their limit of 6 pretty quick, and unless it's a Della night, I usually don't directly ask to be on. So we'll see.
Okay.
I might bug quiz, see if I can get on tonight.
Cool.
All right. And yeah, since you had some audio issues, I decided to play the. This will be the official theme song for this stream. So you guys have a good day.
Bye everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Men, speaker of Green Jello. Fuck, fuck, fuck.
you guys.
Cool.
Great song.
All right. So yeah, you guys have a great day.
See you guys.
I'll see you guys
All
later.
right, everybody.
See ya.